Well, the good news right now, everybody, is that it can't get much worse. Right? It can't get much worse. I mean, technically, we were better than last year. That is true. It can't get much worse, and I'll tell you why. Because any worse would be us getting relegated, and if we get relegated, I've already said that we're done at that point. So if we get relegated, that means I'm put out of my misery. So it can't get worse because it's either we improve and get promoted again, or if it does get worse, I'm put out of my misery. Technically, we could end up in purgatory, which is also very possible. And it's already starting to feel like we're back in it. Prophecy, we do end up having injuries. I don't think the team was all that roughed up this season, though. I think they were just bad. Missed out on our first gem of the year with Brisbee. Don't have much competition for anybody else there, so we're fine. What's worse, getting shittier or being mid? Being mid is much worse. For me, at least, it is much worse to just be like, oh, cool, I have hope, and to have that hope dashed every year. That is horrific. We do get Rico Mori out of Detroit at quarterback. So that is somebody else to hope can carry us out of the doldrums in the near future. As our coaching prestige went from an A to a C over the course of the last 2 years. We are going to stay with those coordinators until they take a job to go somewhere else, if that even happens anymore. But let's go through Conference Championship Week, take a look back at the season that was, and take it from there. Renaming that dude to Demythicist. Alright. Another quarterback to get disappointed by. Yeah, we kind of are the Cleveland Browns of quarterbacks, aren't we? At least in the college world. Oscar Gold, the senior quarterback out of Kentucky, is your Heisman winner. 54 touchdowns, 10 picks. You know, Kentucky kicked the crap out of us, so fair play. Fair play. So, let's, in fact, take a look at the season that the last thing I want to do is look at these team stats. I mean, shout out to Marvin Matlock. We should have given him more of an opportunity, but Rainbow Six Siege was mid. Butte was just way too inconsistent. I mean, 13-7's not horrific, but he should have been so much better than that. Again, with morale, he was up to an 87. The rushing game was not the best. It was okay, but it wasn't abysmal. Fumbles weren't ideal for Hakuna Nevada. Over 1,000 yards as a senior for George R.R.R. Martin. 9 touchdowns, same as Donald Duckville Donahue. Blocking-wise, double digits for Bubblicious at left tackle. Okay. Not a great year for the senior lineman. To be fair, our quarterback name, meme jersey would have better names. You're not wrong. Not wrong. Our sack leader with 2.5. Our sack leader 2 years ago had 15. What the hell happened to our defense? Because it's not even that bad. I don't know what the hell happened. We just couldn't get to quarterbacks this year, apparently. And our pick leaders had 2. Our defense sucked. Our offense was inconsistent. Our kicker went 14 of 19. At least he made all the extra point attempts. I mean, just nothing clicked for this team this year. Nothing. Nothing clicked whatsoever. It's such a bummer. Nationally, the yardage king was Paul Woods at Hawaii. Of course, we know, yeah, Oscar Gold had a crazy season for Kentucky. Most picks, George Kilpatrick. Leighton Manning. Oh, that's tremendous. That is tremendous. awesome. Yeah, it'd be freaking Archie's son at this point. You guys broke at least 1,000 yards, 16 touchdowns for Michigan State's Nathan Lutman. I was just wondering if there was going to be anybody, like, super familiar names that we noticed or anything. But, yeah, I don't think anybody that leaves Ball State goes on to good things. Just they're tainted for the rest of their time. Let's get a look then at how everything played out conference-wise. The lowest tier, independent status, sees El Paso as the top team, and Kent State also up there as well. I just hit transfers on my Dynasty. There were 7 total transfers. That is weird. That is a very, very low count. Let's look at Conference USA. 4-team tie. It comes down to point differential, which means Western Kentucky, by 10 extra points allowed, Western Kentucky are dropped. That is insane. I don't think we've ever seen a tie like that. On the other side, it's much easier. It's Indiana. So down go the Hoosiers. Brutal season for them. In the MAC, easy there as well. Team at the very bottom, Vanderbilt. In the Sun Belt, it's also easy. It ends up being Arizona. I cannot believe how bad they've been. They're going down to tier 9. That is ridiculous. Bowling Green was phenomenal. In the American, it does end up being Florida International. SMU had one more outright win. So SMU survives. Florida International loses 6 in a row. They will be dropped in conference. Didn't we lose? We beat Vandy in the first game of the year. Thank God. Thank God. Guess who finally has a PC? Barbara Walters. Welcome to the future, Barbara. Let's see. Mountain West. Jesus Christ. Ends up being San Antonio. 4-team tie in terms of conference record, but San Antonio lost 1 extra overall game. Down they go. Pac-12, Arkansas. Ender, congratulations. So in all seriousness, Arkansas ends up getting dropped there. ACC, it ends up being TCU on first tiebreaker with Purdue. So down goes old Texas Christian. Big 12, it ends up being Ole Miss. Dude, it was nearly Texas. It was nearly Texas, but down goes Mississippi. The Big 10, West Virginia. Terrible, terrible year for them. Then in the top tier, 10-0 Nebraska. It's finally happened. After 20 years, Alabama has been dropped from the top tier. 1 extra loss compared to UNC. Alabama finally relegated for the first time. Dreams do come true. Down go Bama. Your conference champions. We have Temple winning the Conference USA crown. We have Hawaii winning the Pac-12. They get another promotion. Jesus Christ. Mid-10 win the MAC. Kentucky win the Big 12 over App State. Kentucky now a Tier 2 program. Bowling Green win the Sun Belt over Liberty Bibberty. North Texas wins the Mountain West over Utah. Oregon win bragging rights over Nebraska. Miami wins the American crown. The Redbirds are ahead of us yet again. Florida wins the Big 10 crown. They head back to the top tier. And then the ACC goes to the California Golden Burrs. And then, of course, these extra weird games for no reason. But that's why we waited. We made sure that those were factored in. So, there you go. There you go, there you go. So the playoff bracket looks like this. Tennessee against Penn State. Winner plays Bowling Green. Oklahoma and Nebraska. Winner takes on Oregon. Syracuse and Utah. Winner playing North Texas. Florida and Hawaii. With the winner playing Kentucky. Okay. There are some new faces in there for the first time, yeah. Oh boy, we need this offseason to be decent for us, man. We need some actual available transfers. I mean, we need some help. The good thing is the recruitment class does already look decent, but clearly we need even more help. I do think this team is solid enough to go through. Like, if Eastern Michigan can make that conference title game, we could have too. But... So Tennessee over Bowling Green, or over Penn State. Nebraska over Oklahoma, Syracuse over Utah, Florida over Hawaii, Bowling Green over Tennessee, Nebraska upsets Oregon, Syracuse over North Texas, and Florida over Kentucky. So it is Bowling Green and Nebraska, Syracuse, and Florida in the semifinal. As Bowling Green threatening to live out our dream. And they're one step away, your national title game. Orange versus Orange. Bowling Green against Syracuse. Now, granted, of course, the Bowling Green and the Falcons, but you get the point. Bowling Green and Syracuse. 4 versus 11 for the 2044 national title. Our coach prestige is now... Oh, dude, if Culliver transfers out before his senior year, I am going to be heartbroken. Oh, I'm going to be heartbroken. Our pro potential's dropped. Our stability's dropped. Dude, if Culliver leaves, that wouldn't even be a gut punch. That would be a dick punch. As Syracuse have won the national title in 2044. Saves come to make them stay. I'm tempted, let me tell you. I am tempted. Okay. Culliver leaving would be devastating. However, he doesn't appear to be as pissed, which makes me wonder if he's going pro a year early. Because he's not showing up there anymore. Players leaving. Jesus Christ, he's looking to go pro in the first round. I mean, at least he's the first round pick. That would get us some extra XP. But we do have transfers to worry about. Quite a few, in fact. At quarterback, John Tony Patrick Stewart's looking to transfer, as Isaiah Butte has graduated. Running back, Sarcastic Drama, looking to transfer, while Hammy Tear has graduated. Turkish Immature Baby has also looked to transfer, while Martin has graduated. Child of Divorced Dads and Bubblicious have both graduated. As have Big Al's Fly Swatter and Gideon Okorafor. Brody Lee Wyatt is looking to transfer, while Coke Can Robot has graduated. NIL OnlyFans has graduated. You lose 6 in a row and people think you can't compete anymore. Where's the thing? James Manziel is looking to transfer. That would suck. Again, George Culliver is going to go pro, which we're going to have to let him. While David Letterman Tooth Gap is looking to transfer, and Frederick Hippenhammer has graduated. And Man Bun Jackman has graduated as well. So, we only have 5 persuasions. George Culliver's leaving. At least he's going pro and will get us some XP. I mean, that could be our first ever first round pick. It does suck to see him go, though. Attack, what's up, by the way? We need to try to keep James Manziel. The one guy we're not going to try to keep is Stewart, because we know we can aim higher with other quarterbacks that are coming in, right? So, James Manziel Are you willing to stay? Yes, thank fuck. Oh, thank God. Is Turkish Imatabibe willing to stay? No. So we lose the 75 overall freshman wideout. Turkish. Was normal dev, but that still sucks. What about sarcastic drama at running back? He is going to stay. Brody Lee Wyatt is going to stay. And then last one, David Letterman Tooth Gap is gone. He was also normal dev, so not the biggest loss in the world. So aside from the graduations, we lose John Tony Patrick Stewart, David Letterman Tooth Gap, and Turkish Imatorbibi. Why would sarcastic drama ever leave? Fair enough. And of course, George Culliver is going pro. These last 2 seasons have been incredibly damaging to our forward momentum. Incredibly. Do we have a first round pick? Yes, we do. George Culliver goes pro. Fair enough. I wish we could have kept him for his senior year, but at least he's only leaving to go into the draft. Fair play. I'd leave Ball State too to go as a first round pick. Absolutely. Will there be any players interested in us as Najee Gage? We're not going to be able to get this guy now because of the deal breaker. Our coach prestige dropped too far. Last year, there wasn't a single 3-star player interested in us. This year, not a single quarterback. Time to move on. I can't get rid of the coordinators at this stage is the problem. We're already past the time I can fire them. I still think they're the best for us, though. Just for the off-season development. It looks like that safety that appeared is literally the only guy that's going to be interested in us from the portal. So we could either go for 2 stars or we look for more 3 stars off the prospect list. Yep, literally one dude, FIU's Malik Carter. The only player interested in coming here. Outside of the 2 we still have on the board. In which case, Kashawn Eason. Let's try to lock you down here. That running back, Antoine Akbar. Let's max out the points on you and schedule a visit. Get you on proximity to home. And then Malik Carter out of the portal. He's a junior, which isn't great, but he could replace who we just lost in the secondary. Or at least he could try. He's not amazing, but he'll do. He'll do, he'll do. Very funny, Jake. And correct. So in terms of the 3 stars that are available, we might as well just look to see if there are any more gems. And I mean, we'll go with the athletes. Literally any athlete that isn't a 2-star pipeline rating. So we're talking about either a 1-star, a bronze pipeline, or no pipeline at all. Let's scout these guys out and see if there's any other gems that we can add to our board late. Since the portal, again, is pretty irrelevant. 96 throw power for this guy, Stephen Crow, but of course we have brought in a quarterback pretty similar. That was a gem, so while that guy's good, we already have a fucking logjam of talent. What's our career win-loss record? I believe I can check. This quarterback's also pretty good, but again, I think we got somebody better. At least we're hedging our bets that he's better. He might not be, but I mean, he at least had the gem. Greg Jerry is apparently a gem, but he's at least an athlete, so we don't necessarily have to play him at quarterback. I don't think he's that good, but we'll take a look at him. That's why gem hunting doesn't always work, right? Because this guy's attributes are a hell of a lot better. Liati Gooch is also a gem. So we're just going to hope we're getting players that have higher ceilings. Danny McNutt. Not a gem. That's a shame. Peyton Crocker. Also not a gem. Of course, you'll notice most of these guys are quarterbacks and other athletes. Guy's not bad at all, but y'all re-add him. That guy's not too bad either. Again, we also don't need crazy amount of players this year anyway, so might as well look for the gems. Just try to get dudes with the highest ceiling possible. Gem at quarterback, Corin Anger. Actually, let's take that extra. Yeah, there is a chance they'll be better in other positions other than quarterback, that's for sure. Okay, so we don't have too much to do, but it was asked about, like, lifetime record and everything. I actually can't see it from that contract screen. I think I've gone so far that the coach contract screen has glitched out when you're doing Mad Franchise. We already did one. I'm not going to switch back to it until they actually have defense not be shit. So, all-time record is 153 and 119. 10 winning seasons. 2 and 3 all-time in the playoffs. 3 conference titles, 1 first-round draft pick, 12 picks total. And obviously 0 top 5 recruitment classes. So we do have a winning record all-time. Thank God. All-State would kill for that. There. We get Kashawn Eason, 3-star wideout, and that running back Antoine Akbar. Yeah, Seavox, I already have everything written down, so we're good to go. But thank you for the reminder. Appreciate you looking out. So Hogue is already off the board. What about Dalton Burt? Last guy to look at least in terms of an athlete. He's also a bust. Okay. Based on the fact we got 17 players on the board, to be honest, I think we're probably good with that amount. We don't want to have to cut an absurd amount of players again. So Greg Jerry, max out your points. The Goocher will max out your points. And then Corin Anger. Max out your points. And that's that. That is that. Pretty straightforward. New additions this week, though. Still waiting. Still waiting. There, by the way. Good zinger. Nobody ready to schedule visits. We're good. Just need to hope that this quality over quantity approach has worked for us. Still nobody locking down a deal here. Clearly, they are waiting for higher value programs to step in and steal them away, but we'll optimize with sways if we can. Oh, good. Is this guy's deal breaker? We don't know. Well, all we can do is have you visit then and hope that you care about playing style. Goocher, not looking good. Can't even visit. Jerry can't visit. Carter, we can at least set up. Hard sell. Okay. Well, there we go. That's it. Let's find out. And let's hope we have a better season next year because it has to happen. We do get Malik Carter, the transfer safety. We also get another quarterback in Greg Jerry and another athlete quarterback, Liati Gooch. So there was only one guy that we missed out on, and he went to Maryland. Not too bad. In theory, this should be okay. Let's take a look. Now, we did technically have 4 guys on our board that can play quarterback, but 3 of them are athletes. So Dalvin Vincent is star dev at quarterback. Not bad. Not bad. At all. Maury. Mr. Povich is also star dev. Jerry is star dev. We're 3 for 3 so far. Gooch, only impact dev. Let's see what other position you can play aside from quarterback. The running back, Akbar, only normal dev. That's a bit of a shame. His attributes look good, though. His attributes do look good. The wideout, star dev for Kashawn Eason. Another guy to build around. Single lineman this year. Defensive ends, Simon Pape. The Pape, he is impact dev. Impact dev for Raekwon Farrell. Star dev for Jordan Torrance. And impact dev for Jadarius Flint. So not too bad here. Some of these guys, but again, gem isn't guaranteed. Do anything. Defensive tackle Dylan Doss was also impact dev. How many players did we lose? A decent amount, but nothing we can't overcome. Impact dev for Kareem. Not Kareem, Keenan Reem. Middle linebacker, nobody. The corner, Terrell Capps was impact dev. You can make an argument as to whether or not gem hunting was the right way to go. I mean, I think it's helped. We only have one normal dev guy, right? And he was the only non-gem that we brought in, so it at least got us guys with above base level developments. Impact dev for Spencer Carruthers, but also it didn't guarantee like any elites or anything, which it never was going to. And Malik Carter was normal dev. He was out. So yeah, the only two non-gems we brought in were both normal dev. It's a decent player pool for us. We got Ohio State, LSU, Syracuse, Notre Dame, and Georgia as the top 5. And we were at number 69. The sex number. I mean, we had just as good of a recruitment class as Florida State, so either something's going very right for us or very, very wrong for them. So in terms of player movement, Dalvin Vincent was the only, like, true quarterback that we saw. Can't catch a football. Can't play defense. He's absolutely staying there, and we'll see who the hell the quarterback of this team's going to be next year. It might be him. It might be Sanders. We'll see. I mean, it is star dev for Dalvin Vincent. Maybe we just run him. Maybe he develops that much faster. At running back, apparently Sarcastic Drama didn't have the red shirt fully. Akbar. Can't really catch a football, but is fast enough to be a running back. So, yeah, that's fine. We can leave him there. Can you use numbers when renaming a player? No. Let's say at wideout, then. Double check that. The wideout that we got was Kashawn Eason. 71 catching, 90 speed. Obviously, the catch rating isn't great. Based on the amount of people that we have, though, I think 88 speed can be the threshold. So you got to be witting me. Move him to wide out. And we actually got a couple of guys, or at least one more. Kyrie Flat Earth. Also, he's apparently a shit wideout, so we'll probably be moving him back. I'm guessing his route running is atrocious. That's my presumption. The only guy that can move is Akbar, but we know his catching wasn't that good. Okay. Just to have the highest speed players with the best catching at wideout. It's not too bad. We might as well see if Kyrie Flat Earth can develop. I mean... yeah, it's his route running that's atrocious.
I'm just trying to walk through this fucking
Out to Dragon Bree. Dragon Bree. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. You could argue that Kyrie is so bad at running routes that it's not even worth it, but... what the hell was his development? He was impact dev. argue whether or not it's worth it or not. But again, has some speed. Sleazeball.
Walk through this fucking
follow as well. Welcome, welcome. Oh, and I'm going to try him. We'll see if he'll get the off-season boost, and if not, then hey, it is what it is. Tight ends, those 4 are going to be staying. They don't quite have the speed to play anywhere else or to play it wide out, but they do have the catch rating, which... yeah, they don't have the speed to play running back either. I want that to be probably like an 85. So that's fine as is. Not much else to change there then. We still have the athletes. How much are hockey jerseys? It depends. Some of them were, you know, like store-bought for full price, but others were eBay deals and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, you could get a, you know, decent enough quality jersey for, I mean, 30, 40 bucks if you find the right deal on eBay. But then others can be very, very, very expensive. Yeah, Frank, only 5 wins this time as opposed to the 4 last year, so very disappointing. I think we're good with all of that. The O-line. Ash said go Oilers, continues to develop. We'll look at him as a potential tackle now. Don't cheat on my exams could also be a tackle. It says, of course, tight end, but I don't believe he can actually block. Wolverine could also be a tackle. Favorite NFL team? I am a Patriots fan. College-wise, don't have one because college football is not huge in New England. Because outside of one like Matt Ryan or, you know, Doug Flutie played, I mean, the top-notch players are few and far between. People typically don't care as much. We're gonna move. Can I pass to Frank over to tackle? That is true. There's quite the market for Chinese knockoffs if you don't care about anything super authentic. When it comes to hockey jerseys, that is very true. Let's see what we can do here. Some of these guys should develop well, and if they don't, we're just going to cut. Our O-line is not shaping up to be as good as it once was. I am going to trust that these centers develop. I mean, Black Bears have a football program. Yes, but obviously they're not tier 1. Otherwise, they'd be in this video game. Which would be lovely. But they are not often lovely. Super 60 catching. 63. Can you dig it? That catch rating, of course, still wasn't good enough. Okay, so I don't think we have too much else to change there either. Quarterbacks at the moment are set, at least until we see the athletes. Same everywhere else. Defensively, for these defensive ends, they are staying. We got some guys who are moving over to linebacker based on the extra mobility that they have. Defensive tackle, Dylan Doss. We can move over to the edge. Works for me. Then for linebackers, we got a lot of them. And the secondary also. Okay. I mean, we got a general idea of where these people are playing. So as far as the athletes go, there's 4 of them. First and foremost, can any of you play defense? Yes, Liati Gooch and Rico Mori can both play some defense in terms of secondary. This guy, Simon Pape, can tackle. right. So Maury can play defensive back. Simon Pape play probably defensive line. Gooch can play defensive back. And then Jerry, so far, cannot. Can any of you guys block? Not particularly well. Can any of you catch a football? Actually, let's check throw power. I mean, Rico Mori could play quarterback. Liati Gooch could play quarterback. And I'd say no to Greg Jerry in that position. Route runner, quite clearly the best of the bunch. Well, I mean, there's an argument. So Maury could also be a wideout. Gooch could be a wideout if need be. And then Jerry could be a wideout. And then catch ratings. That tracks. And then speed-wise, Maury doesn't quite have the speed that we typically want for a wideout, while Gooch and Jerry do. So Greg Jerry is going wideout. Mr. Pape is heading to linebacker. And then defensive back, quarterback, and wideout. So at quarterback, Maury and Gooch, impact and star dev. At quarterback, we had a star dev with Vincent. Let's not have those two compete with one another. Let's put them both in the secondary. I feel like that'll be for the best. Especially with who we just lost in terms of Mr. Culliver going pro, which does kind of complicate things for us defensively, I should say. So quarterbacks, we're really looking at Dalvin Vincent to be the guy. You really are. You could argue maybe Maury there, though, because of that freaking 96 throw power and the speed. But do I want two star dev quarterbacks to be competing with one another? Oh, dude, if Rico Maury is actually that good. Is he actually a 74? Okay, Rico Maury is our quarterback. That's been decided. He is so much better than Vincent. Maury is going to be the starter from day one. Vincent's going to be the project. Why isn't Matlock going to start? Because Maury is better. Matlock's actually only a 70. The green arrows indicate a morale boost. Rico Maury is like legitimately that good. Where these two guys are riding the waves at the moment in terms of whether or not they're actually that good. So a lot of people then at wideout, at least 88 speed, kind of sort of catch a football. So we're trying to develop a lot of people up at the wideout position right now when guys like Reggie Jackson are probably going to get cut. 59 awareness. I mean, we've had players with high awareness before. Has that made much of a difference? I think not. I think not. One more check here. Okay, everybody is at least in the general area where we want them. So starting off here, we know the dev patterns. Uchkos is going to continue to be the top kicker. Wrestling Gimmick is going to be the punter. Everybody else is basically going to get cut. Even, well, Kickball Hall of Famer might stick around. Might. It's tough because he does have impact that he might not. So in the secondary, we got a couple of guys here that might be better at corner based on the man coverage that they can play. Let's double check that. Right. Now, is there anybody actually at corner that can't really play man? 65 for Terrell Caps. Actually, because we're training him up, can he play zone? He can. He was the one that we saw that we knew we'd move to safety. That's an obvious one. And then Liati Gooch, he can be trained up at corner. He can definitely be trained up at corner. Again, he could have been a quarterback or a defensive back, but there's no way he'd be a quarterback for us. So then, is there anybody... I mean, clearly we can move some people over to safety. Although, with, I mean, Malik Carter and interception there. Okay, so clearly, like, Junior Gooch, much better zone coverage than man coverage. Same for Gene Parmesan. Okay, so Junior Gooch a free safety. Move Parmesan over. And that sets us up pretty well at corner. Safety. Want to split Junior Gooch, Parmesan up, and then move one of these two over to be the backup. So that works. Okay. And Demetrius Lincoln, same thing. Just divide these numbers pretty evenly. So 3 and 3 at safety. Decent amount of corners, but 7, that's not bad. For the crap load of eligible linebackers that we have, anybody that has at least 70 zone coverage, we're going to want to train up in the middle. Anybody with less than that, and it turns out there's going to be quite a few. We'll look at anybody with less than that. You know, Got Rump and Ryan Clark approved. Brainsworm, say Got Rump. Alright, so it doesn't leave much at outside linebacker, so clearly somebody's going to have to move. Best way to do that is to probably look at the block shedding, the power moves, stuff like that. So clearly, one of the top two... Again, that guy's power and finesse moves suck, but he has the block shedding. Negative Sarcasm at least has power moves as well. Like Clubber and Negative Sarcasm. Move you both to the left. And our linebacker depth isn't quite looking as strong as it has in the past. But we also haven't seen the player development yet for the offseason, so... Defensive tackle's looking a little bit better. And then defensive end, we need to split up Mix and Moist. We'll trail Mix over to that other side. And... yeah, honestly, that's fine. So the O-line, you could argue certain player movements, but I'm going to trust. In terms of prospect development, I think we're good. Good, of course, being a relative term, but in terms of moving people around, I think we're good. So the question will be, how many players do we have to cut? It'll still be a decent amount, but... Alright. And we were showing up with an 86 overall. Let's look at the team, then. Quarterbacks, you got Rainbow 6. Sanders took a pretty big step forward. Matlock, still a 70, but playing like a 74. And then if I was a Holly, got a little bit better, too. Quarterback room, we at least have some options, but in terms of who the guy is, I think we probably know. Running back situations, probably the best it's ever been. Sarcastic Drama took a massive step up. And to be honest, we could probably redshirt him for the year. Let Herschel Needs a Walker be the backup, and then we'll have he, Drama, and Joseph, Mary, and Jesus as like a triple punch combo. Fullbacks up to a 73/75. Wideouts, I mean, this is overall-wise the best-looking team we've ever had, apparently. At least have a wideout over an 80, or at least playing like one. O-line, looking good at tackle, looking good at guard. Looking great at center. Tremendous offseason development for them. looking great at right guard. The O-line developed. They came through. Defensively, big improvement for Major Sloman. Trail Mix is showing up as a 90 for his senior year. Defensive tackle still looking okay. Linebackers, oh my god, Colin Sackerpick skyrockets in overall. And then at corner, looking really good there. Safety with Gene Parmesan, Gucci interception. The kicker jumps up to a 73. The punter is a 78. Granted, we just lost a star in our prestige. We're down to 2.5, but yet again, it's the best looking team we've ever had, apparently. And the cuts should be relatively easy, even if there's a lot of them. We only have to cut one player. We only have to cut one player. That is hilarious. To be honest, we're going to just make extra cuts now. Well, I guess, like, Terrio's third leg is never going to be the starting punter over Taylor Swift. So, how is it not that 43 overall? Because I don't think he's a 4... Oh, well, yeah, I guess... Yeah, you're right. Kyrie didn't develop at all at wideout, did he? No extra improvement. Fair enough. Because you know what? I think maybe an extra offseason he can develop. Red shirt, that star dev kicker. We could. I mean, he did improve by about 8 overall points. I think we get rid of Terrio's third leg. Sorry, Terry. And I think we are going to redshirt the kicker and punter from last year, let them get even better, and then just run with Taylor Swift and Kickball Hall of Famer as our special teams this year, and then cut both of those guys the following year. So I think we're okay there. We just have these conference upgrades to go through now. Actually, we got a little bit more than that. We know that El Paso are making their way to Conference USA to replace Indiana, and that Western Kentucky is down for Kent State. At the very least, I suppose you can say, at least we aren't in the lowest conference anymore. Develop into a shit player. You'd be surprised. We have seen some of those players skyrocket in rating before. It has happened. That's why I'm not giving up on him yet. Temple get promoted out of Conference USA. They are heading to the MAC to replace Vanderbilt. Hoosiers are independent. They sure are. At least they are now. Mid-Tennessee State out of the MAC, heading to the Sun Belt to take over for Arizona, which is insane to me. But Arizona continue to be immense disappointments. Bowling Green have been promoted to the American, where they'll be replacing Florida Atlantic. So we're going to have to now deal with a team that lost in the national title game. Thought promotion was going to be difficult, as Miami make their way to Mountain West to replace San Antonio. So this is our conference next season. We'll go over the overalls in a little bit. That is the conference that we are going to have to deal with. The Mountain West, Mean Green of North Texas, head to the Pac-12 to replace Arkansas. Miami can't fuck us this time. Yeah, until we end up in the same conference again, and then they just dick us down one more time for old time's sake. Oh, Hawaii on their way to a top 4 as they replace TCU. Hawaii have been one of the stories of this run. Like, their consistent quarterback play, regardless of who they've had, has made me so jealous. So envious. It's insane. And there, of course, is one of the other stories of this run. Fucking App State. In a Power 3 conference. Let's see. It was Kentucky with their Heisman winner, replacing West Virginia. Mountain Mama. Western Virginia. And then the Florida Gators are back into the top tier to replace Alabama. So that is the new top tier. No Bama, no Georgia, no Ohio State. Michigan, I think, is the last sole survivor of that top. Oregon, too. There's just been some crazy turn of events. But yeah, ASU, man, they've been in that conference now for over a decade. It's nuts. I have no idea how they're maintaining that position. So before we get to the player renaming, let's do what we have to do here. In terms of setting up the rest of this. 86 overall, man. If we don't get promoted, I am going to be devastated. In terms of the custom schedule, we will go to the letter picker wheel for week 1 to replace this FCS matchup. I mean, the last time we played the goddamn Pandas, we barely beat them. And we roll an H. An H. A H. Chat, you have a choice. Will it be the Rainbow Warriors of Hawaii? Or will it be the Cougars of Houston? Who do you want us to play in our first game of the season? Will it be the Cougars or Hawaii? And then, as you can see our schedule, Fresno State, Rutgers, San Antonio, Eastern Michigan, Louisiana, Mississippi State, SMU, Boise State, UAB, and then Bowling Green to end the year. We will spin for week number 9, the other non-conference game. Looks like Hawaii is going to win that other vote as we roll a T. And you will have more options for this one. That is for sure. But Hawaii gets that previous win. Muted. Hello. So, will we play the Temple Owls, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, the Trojans of Troy, the Toledo Rockets, or the Aggies of Texas A&M? Who will it be in week number 9? We know Hawaii is on the schedule, but who will be joining them here for our other non-conference game? See how nice chat wants to be versus watching us get our asses handed to us again. So we will indeed play the Rainbow Warriors, and we'll take that trip over to Hawaii. And we'll see who we draw in week number 9. Again, the choice is up to chat. Right now it is between Temple and A&M. And a big shout out to my favorite panda of a trash variety. Sid, how the heck are you, my friend? How'd the stream go? Oh, those emotes, though. Oh, those emotes. Shh. What about the Utes? Again, we rolled a letter T, so we're only allowed to play a team that starts with the letter T. And it ends in a tie between Temple and Texas A&M, which means we will be flipping a coin. Heads is Temple, tails is A&M. Temple it is. Temple it is. I just had a Monster Hunter. I've never gotten into those games because I feel like if I did, I wouldn't play anything else. That is just one of those franchises that scares me. There's just so much to do. Thank you again though for the raid, man. I hope you've been well. Really quickly, I want to see as well our prospect list, our potential prospect list. Are we still going to be damaged by players not wanting to be here? No. In fact, a lot of people want to be here. At least at quarterback, which you could argue, unless we find someone who's elite, isn't going to help us too much. But let's add every single person to the list that wants to be here, first and foremost. See how many people that is. And then take it from there. Goodness, as the football continues to ruin my life. We do have a fair amount of people interested this year, though. That guy's a good goal. We'll get him off of our list. We do not need a kicker. We do not need a punter. So then to go back through, what about a gold pipeline rating? Anybody with a gold pipeline that didn't immediately have interest in us, we can also add to the list. Tight ends this year, huh? A couple of tackles. Left guard named Sharf. Oof, junior JUCO. Thanks. We don't need 1 year of eligibility. Couple of corners. We only got 3 spots left. Okay. Oh, we at least got 32 players on the board. We will immediately just hand everybody a scholarship, right? Get that base level of interest. What does gold pipeline mean? So you can have 5 different levels of a pipeline. Technically 6, because it can go 0 to 5. And what that'll factor in is how much easier it can be to get certain people. You know, so like by default, like the home state that you're in, you're going to be able to appeal to somebody who is also from that state or close enough to that area. Or if you're, you know, a bigger program, you might want to look at the parts of the country that have top-notch talent, you know, coming from it more often than not. It's just kind of a modifier to help out recruiting in terms of how it works in-game. And let's just go ahead and spam scouting points. That guy's not a gem. His attributes aren't particularly great. Jalen Logan, Jesus Christmas. He definitely stays on the list. Tyler Casey. Well, we might have some more quarterbacks in the conversation. Not gonna have a shortage of quarterback options. Good lord. That guy's at least an athlete, but 96 throw power as well. Jesus. That guy's only an 88, and he's not an athlete, so by default, he's out. That guy's a gem on 89, so we'll consider him. Yeah, the 2 that are athletes there, they might not even end up playing quarterback, just because what room do we have? 88 speed running back. 91 acceleration. Change of direction. Isn't it the best awareness? Oh, I'm actually going to say no to that guy. Or am I? Maybe not. He's at least not a bust. We got Bill Zuber as a power back with 90 speed and 86 trucking. That guy's insane. And then Matt Davis is apparently a bust. So we will leave Judge on the board. We'll get rid of the other guy, though. This fullback is apparently a bust, so we won't even worry about him because we don't absolutely need a fullback. Find out David Church. Decent hands, not the best speed in the world, though, so no thanks. Demetrius Roy. Okay, not a good year. Wideouts does have 90 speed, but route running is mid as all hell. Yeah, we'll trust the bust label there. And then, well, we didn't get any O-linemen last year. This might be the year. 57 awareness for this guy. There's a run block in the 60s. The rest of it looks okay. He's all right. And then Keelan Moore, and we won't be able to fully look at. So at least we know there's some decent players potentially in the pipeline. Preseason All-Americans before we rename anybody. We're not going to have anybody at the national level. Only chance we had of that was our guy not going pro. Conference-wise, even though we're an 86, it's only Trail Mix at defensive end and Gene Parmesan at safety. We're preseason all-conference. That is not promising. And you could argue that's because in our conference, you got Bowling Green at an 83, same as Eastern Michigan. An 86 for Mississippi State, 84 Louisiana, 84 UAB, 84 Boise State. We're at an 86. 82 Rutgers, 81 Fresno State, 82 San Antonio, 82 SMU. We are good enough, and we are the co-favorites with Mississippi State, both at an 86 overall, to get promotion this year. However, we have a little bit of a problem, don't we? Because the depth of this conference is tough.